was mine, nothing to deny.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to IMJ I'm back with another one. Y'all know it's Monday night, and the girls over at Love and Hip Hop Atlanta are definitely fighting, so we got a lot to get into. But before we get into that, if you have not subscribed to this channel, stop. Go down, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so whenever I post content, you get notified. But let's get into this video, y'all. Okay, y'all, so tonight they kick off with Pooh. Now, y'all already know how I feel about her. We done talked about it for episodes and episodes. How I'm over her. I'm tired of hearing her storyline. I'm sick of her. But for some reason, Mona wanted to kick off with her tonight on this episode. So Mimi goes to see her at a photo shoot. I guess Pooh has a cosmetic line or lashes, something that she's pushing to the girls. She goes to see her, and they kind of catch up on, everything about, the situation that happened on the trip. And then Mimi kind of catches her up on the situation with her and Stevie. Now, we'll get into the Mimi and Stevie situation a little later. But, they just kind of talking and, just catching up. And she's asking her, has she talked to any other girls? But, of course, nobody's talking with her right now. They all rocking with Carly, and they not really messing with Pooh. So, Mimi is the only person right now that wants to film with Pooh. Obviously, because ain't nobody else really messing with her like that. They see she messy, which a lot of them are messy. But Pooh takes messy to a whole nother level, and it's kind of like, annoying and unnecessary. But I ain't gonna rant because y'all know how I feel about her. Now we get to Jock. So last week, we saw Jock's situation with the salon. It's kind of a mess right now. Him and his business partner not really getting along. And the salon kind of in shambles. They don't really have a staff. So Jock decides that he's going to do interviews. Now, he's not doing the interviews at the salon, of course, because if he does, he already know his business partner is probably going to get him pure TL. So he's doing the interviews on his own at a lounge or club, somewhere that's probably not appropriate for an interview. So he's interviewing all these different girls, and they not looking like they at an interview for a stylist or anything like that. If I'm thinking you interviewing for a salon, you're talking about your work, you're showing your work and things like that. Like, if they interviewing for Jock, it looks like they interviewing for like a club scene or something. The girls are flirting with him, and he's trying to pretend like he's not flirting back because he playing this fateful role to Kendra right now, which is in question. But yeah, he's interviewing the girls, and they flirting. Nobody dressed like they at a job interview or anything like that. They all dressed like they about to, audition at Onyx or something. So then, I think Kirk and Scrap show up during the interview process, and I think it might have been at the end. And they like looking around at the girls walking out, like, what is going on? So they all chopping it up and just kind of catching up. And they asked Kirk about, the conversation that Rashida had with Jasmine. Now, at this point, Rashida hasn't really given Kirk too much information about that meetup. So everybody kind of like, oh, your wife ain't really told you nothing? Like, sign on it, like, what's going on? Now, we don't know why she really haven't said much to Kirk, because they didn't really get into that this episode. But as you saw last week, Jasmine kind of did slap her with that surprise, like, oh, well, Kirk kind of blames a lot of stuff on you. So that could be a reason why Rashida hasn't really gotten into what they talked about. But we'll see. Now, Jock decides that he's going to, meet with his ex-wife and his baby mama, Cena, to kind of, let him know that he's thinking about proposing to Kendra. Now, they immediately, like, side on it. It seems like, his baby mamas and his ex-wife kind of get along. They kind of been around each other for a few years. So they've kind of built this kind of friendship or whatever. And they kind of looking at Jock like, they like Kendra, but nobody really trusts the fact that Jock is ready to get married, settle down, and, be faithful to somebody. So they questioning him about it. And, he let them know that, Kendra doesn't really want to have kids. And they just kind of like, oh, no. Everybody, like, they're saying the response to everybody kind of like, well, you do have a lot of kids, so that could be playing a part of why she's not interested in having kids. So they're like, they all agree that they like Kendra. She allows him to still have a good relationship with them as well as take care of his kids. So, they appreciate that. She's a good addition to Jock, which I actually think so too. Like, I really think she is a good person for him. I just don't know if Jock ready to let go of those doggish ways and, be there for Kendra. But we'll see. Like I said, they like her. They just questioning if Jock is actually ready to be a married man. Now, as we know, Mimi's girlfriend, Ty, has been overseas for about 6 or 7 months playing basketball. I think she was in Israel, and she really hasn't been on a lot this season. So she's back, and they instantly kind of get into this conversation about Stevie and Mimi. And, Ty kind of feels a certain type of way about, the way they interact. I don't know if y'all seen, but it's been plenty of times where Ty will post a picture and Stevie's commenting on the picture and kind of being disrespectful to Mimi and Ty's relationship. I don't know if he has a problem with her being close to Eva or what it is, but they kind of have this thing where they don't necessarily get along, and Mimi kind of stuck in the middle trying to, referee the situation. I think Ty beat Stevie up. I'm just saying. I think she a dragon, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, she just get home and they're immediately dealing with that situation. And Ty kind of like, if you don't fix it, yeah, Ty's like really not feeling the situation with Stevie and Mimi. And I don't know, Stevie probably does cross boundaries that kind of affect her relationship. So I can understand her not really be feeling him. But we'll see how this develops. Now, Carly goes to talk to Rashida about, just to catch up on the situation that's going on with her and Mo. Because it does seem like she's really affected by whatever it is. And it's almost like she's hinting at something but not really saying it. Like, I'm like, is it more than just verbal? Like, is he physically putting his hands on you? Because every time she talks about it, she gets really emotional. So as she's talking to Rashida just noticing, like, okay, you saying you got a curfew, like, and it seems like you're not saying exactly what it is. Like, and everybody is noticing that you're not the same person that you normally are. So this relationship is really affecting you. And like I said last week, I don't know if part of this is Carly, like, playing up her storyline or what, but you can definitely tell she's really emotional about the situation. And he did walk out of that counseling session. I don't know, it could have just been, hey, there's too much need cameras in here, I don't want to do this. But I don't know, Carly really emotional about that situation right now. Now we get to Akbar. She's in the studio and she's working with Pooh's husband, Harvin, which I guess he's a big person in the music industry, so she's in the studio with him. He got her this session and I guess he's paying for it. So, she's thankful for that. And she finally gets to meet Pooh. Now, of course, she's heard about Pooh from the other girls and things like that, but I think this may be her first interaction with Pooh. And of course, they're talking about everything that's going on with the girls in the situation. And Pooh tells her, she thinks she's being bullied by Shekinah in Tokyo. So, of course, that's all Akbar needed to hear. She jumped in like, why Shekinah even got anything to say? I don't really know where this kind of brewed and started, because Akbar and Shekinah, like, in filming, we haven't seen them have any kind of interaction. So it's kind of weird that she jumping on this, like, I got an issue with Shekinah thing. But we'll see how they go. And I'm just kind of feeling like, Akbar, you just trained down the wrong road. Like, why you want to associate yourself with Pooh? And then she, asks her, like, oh, have you been invited to anything? Well, we should pull up and stuff like that. So, of course, they're planning on crashing whatever event that most of the girls will be at, but we'll get to that. So Shekinah and Carly are at Shekinah's shop, and Carly's getting her hair curled, and they just kind of talking. Carly is, of course, going to everybody and, delivering this situation about Mo to everybody, and they just talking. So Shekinah, some type of way Jock's name came up, and they, start talking about Jock, and Shekinah like, Jock ain't trying to change. He at the shop, talking to girls and all this kind of stuff. She giving her the rundown on that situation with Jock and, his shop manager and the employees and things like that. So, of course, that's Carly Red. So all you got to do is sprinkle a little seed, and she definitely going to carry it on and put a little water on it. Now, Mimi goes to talk to Stevie. Of course, him and Ty have been into it. As soon as she got back in town, they on social media pretty much going at it. And, she told Mimi, like, I don't know if we're going to be together if you don't check this situation with Stevie. So Mimi goes to the studio. Now, her and Stevie have this weird, like, I mean, I understand you still be friends with people when you're an ex and things like that, but it's almost like they insinuate that it's, I don't know if, not on really her part, but Stevie always kind of like give you that weird feeling like, oh, we still together, that's my, just kind of awkward. And, you know, she let them know, like, Ty pissed off at you. I'm not going to be in the middle. I'm going to ride with her. You keep coming at her on social media, because he does keep coming at her. Like, when she talked about them having a baby, you know, he was like, well, why won't you guys adopt? Like, okay, it is two women. Like, she can, either Mimi can get pregnant again or Ty can carry a baby. Like, you see most lesbian couples do. One of them carries a baby. So, of course, those are digs at them, you know, when he does that kind of stuff. And Ty ain't really here for it. Like, she knows Stevie. She know what Stevie about. Like, and she don't like the way, I guess, that he texts Mimi sometimes. I don't know if it's inappropriate or what, but I could just only imagine how Stevie J kind of, you know, reaches out to her. So they kind of get into this little heated argument. Stevie's laughing about the situation, and Mimi's ready to pretty much fight. So, of course, Productions kind of steps in to security and separate them, and we'll just see, you know, what's going on. Hopefully, Stevie just lead them alone. Lead them people alone. Let them be in heavenly bliss, have a family, and, you know, whatever Mimi want to do right now. You worry about Faith and just leave them people alone. Now, we know Carly has been doing her sexology classes, and, you know, I think she's getting ready to graduate. So she decides to have a graduation sexology party or whatever. And all the girls are there. Well, not all of them. You had Mimi, Spice, and Erica Dixon. Erica Dixon there, pregnant, looking like she about to pop at any minute. And, you know, Mimi's run them down about what happened with her and Stevie. And all the girls just kind of chopping it up and things like that. And in walks Cena, which is Jock's other baby mama. Now, Cena and Carly kind of had, a few seasons back, developed a friendship after they stopped beefing over Jock. They kind of became friends. So they just talking and things like that. And Cena mentions to Carly about Jock wanting to propose to Kendra. So, of course, Carly slides it in there about him having, you know, little side affairs or whatever with his stylist at the shop. Now, of course, normal Carly fashion, she got it, like I said, she got that seed, and she was waiting for the right moment to kind of sprinkle that in there, and she did. She gave that to Cena, so we already see that that's probably going to be, in the next episode, Cena going to go to whoever she needs to, probably directly to Kendra, and drop that in Kendra's ear. The moment we've all been waiting for. The girls are fighting. Let me tell you, I don't understand, like I said, this situation with Akbar and Shekinah. I don't get it. It's like, when and how did this beef start? So Shekinah is doing this relationship, marriage, and life seminar with Kirk and Rashida, where she's asking them relationship questions and things like that. Now, I don't know why everybody assumes that Kirk and Rashida are the best ones to ask relationship advice. I mean, I know they've been through things and lasted in a marriage and, you know, all that type of stuff. But I just think maybe y'all can find some better marriage and relationship role models to get advice from. Because to me, it ain't Kirk and Rashida. That's just my 2 cents on that. But yeah, she's, you know, they're doing this event and Shekinah's interviewing them and, you know, they're taking audience questions. In walks Akbar. Now you immediately know, like, oh, okay, what's this about? Like, her and Pooh had just had a conversation about crashing an event, and I guess maybe Pooh can make this event. So Akbar went on her own. She sits down, and they ask, you know, did anybody want to ask a question? So she asks, so what do you do when you with your man, and, you know, he got an ex, and the ex hating on you, something to that effect. Now, Shekinah looking like, what is going on at this point? So we get to why it's a beef between Akbar and Shekinah. Evidently, Shekinah dated Akbar's baby daddy. Now, we don't know the timeline of this. I kind of saw something earlier about his name being Randy, and Shekinah's like, I haven't dated him since 2012. So I don't know why would they be, it's 2019, why would they be having a beef about this situation. Now, it could be some, stuff that, of course, we haven't really seen. Maybe they had already had beef and it's now playing out on camera. But, of course, Akbar does norm Akbar fashion. Security steps in. She's ready to pretty much throw down with Shekinah. Now, this kind of makes sense as to why they got into it at the reunion. Because when I, caught that clip of Akbar arguing or whatever she was doing, I can understand why her and Shekinah had beef. But now I get it. So whoever her baby daddy is, Shekinah dated him. Now, I don't really think that's any reason for you guys to be beefing, because neither one of you is with him at this point. So it's kind of irrelevant to be arguing with him. Now, like I said, I feel like Akbar, like, she is so talented, and I just do not want her to go down that road where she feels like she has to get on Love and Hip Hop and just be the person that wants to fight everybody and do all of that to make it. Like, you can allow your talent to speak for itself. I know that probably worked for somebody else, who was on Love and Hip Hop and did all that fighting and all that, and Atlantic bought them a couple records that worked for them. But I feel like you have organic talent that you can really, push your pen and let your talent speak for yourself. So don't get caught up in all of that trying to beef with somebody with some old, stale beef. But they made us wait all the way to the end of the episode to show us this little bitty clip of that situation. And of course, Shekinah knows she's not Shekinah's smart. She's not gonna fight fight Akbar. She might do her little things and side things like that, but she know how to play TV. Like, I'm not gonna get on here and fight you and things like that. Now, I may pop off with words and stuff, but I'm not gonna get on TV and fight you. But yeah, y'all, that was this episode. That pretty much was the highlight of the episode. I see what they're doing. I feel like we are getting down to the last few episodes before the reunion. So they're introducing that storyline to us, so we'll know how it plays out at the reunion. But yeah, y'all, let me know what y'all thought if you saw the episode. Let me know how you felt about this Akbar and Shekinah situation that's brewing or is coming to a boil now. But let me know what your thoughts are. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you do so before you leave. Also, hit that notification bell so you get, notified when I do post content. But I'm going to get out of here, and I will see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.